Danny, like says the addicts, how they miss Frank. This is super dope colliding with dank. No fight in this rank, it's undeniable. My style is undefinable. Grind the whole game to a halt with a few wrist flicks. I cannot be explained through physics or any form of sciences. I can't even be described by tenses. My interests are beyond comprehension. They stretch out even beyond extensions. Come on and listen, I'm bleeding my whole soul. Well, I stay exceeding my old goals. Compared to me, everything's slow motion. I'm destroying Spotify more than Joe Rogan. Showboating from here to Hoboken. I'm what happens when you throw coke in. And I want all the smoke, yo, smoking up. Get all your weak shit broken up. My triple fill every ocean up. Those who choose me have always chosen up. And I want all the smoke, yo, smoking up. Get all your weak shit broken up. My triple wet every ocean up. Those who choose me have always chosen up. I'm doing drive-bys and OJ's Bronco. The flow got you hoes spray pronto. They hate my strobe, but I'm back flexing with new shit that you look whack checking. I snap necks more than whiplashes. Locking it down, you get no trip passes. No matter what, I keep my patience. Each syllable causes deep vibrations. I cannot be controlled by nations. Got ladies so thirsty, I cause dehydration. Damn, how many times can I flip these lines? Each is embedded with trippy signs. When they try to come back, I hate replies. I am the one that every beat's beat by. Throw me on and embrace mind expansion. Every time I check in, I check standings where my left's landing. And I want all the smoke, yo, smoking up. Get all your weak shit broken up. My triple fill every ocean up. Those who choose me have always chosen up. And I want all the smoke, yo, smoking up. Get all your weak shit broken up. My triple wet every ocean up. Those who choose me have always chosen up. And I want all the smoke, yo, I'm smoking up. Get all your weak shit broken up. My triple fill every ocean up. Those who choose me have always chosen up. And I want all the smoke, yo, I'm loking up. Get all your weak shit broken up. My triple wet every ocean up. Those who choose me have always chosen up. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke, yo, I'm loking up. Get all your weak shit broken up. My triple fill every ocean up. Those who choose me have always chosen up. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. And I want all the smoke, I want all the smoke. Al show, vida en cero gravedad, life in zero gravity. Welcome to the show. Once again, it's me, Big Zero, showing up on your screen. Maybe in your earbuds, maybe in your earphones, maybe in your AirPods. Fuck Apple. No, I'm just playing. I don't have a problem with Apple. It is funny though how people get so dedicated to Apple. It's like, yo, they don't even know who you are. They don't know you, lil bro. They don't know you, lil sis. It's like a status symbol in the US, because around the world, like, most people don't have an iPhone. But in the US, like, slightly more people have an iPhone than other phones. So they flex. It's like, oh, I don't like the green text bubbles. It's like, who cares, man? Who gives a shit? Honestly, like, if they're not paying you, why do you're paying them? They're your pimp. If you think about it. Anyway, Steve Jobs is pimping you from beyond the grave. anyway, you know, I promoted my 420 show, Payday LA. Kind of sucked, not gonna lie. Well, for one, it wasn't my best performance, but there's a reason for that. So this guy El Prez, man, what was that? My start time was 11:30. That's when I was supposed to go on. Kind of prime time, honestly. Like, you know, a little late for a Thursday night, but not too late. I didn't start till 12:30. You know, an hour later, and there was this whole thing where he was mad I wasn't selling tickets. You're the promoter, bro. You sell the tickets. So here's the thing: you were saying
that if after the first 10 tickets I sold, then I make money. Tickets are 15, $20 each. You know, I think even more on the night of the show. They went up. But anyway, so you want to make like 200 to $300 off of me, and you want to mess with my set time because of that. But it's like you're the one promoting the event. That's the crazy thing in this industry is these promoters want the artists to perform for free, actually perform for negative money. They want you to pay to play, then they want you to sell tickets that they make money off of. And then you're supposed to trust them. Because I guarantee you, if I sold like a bunch of tickets, which honestly I probably did, I don't trust his little metrics. But I bet you if I sold, 100 tickets, I bet you it would probably break me off something, but it wouldn't be nearly what it was worth, man. So I'm over that. The thing that's funny is I saw him trashing me on Twitter, not directly. It's kind of in a little weak like subtweet way. He was talking about like these artists that have I don't understand these artists that have made it past the open mic stage of their career. They made it past this stage, but they don't want to promote shows and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, I'm fine promoting the show. I don't have a problem with that. But it's like you are the one who booked the venue. You know the people around that area. You know the fans. This is your event. Why the hell I'm just one of the artists on your event? You know what I mean? Like I might be the biggest artist, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that you don't have to promote the event. Like that's not how this works, man. This sounds like hustling backwards. So I don't understand. He was tripping, El Prez, man. And honestly, I felt incredibly disrespected by what you did. And if I see you out there, I mean, I know where you're going to be at. You know, you don't screw people over and then have like public appearances where it's like easy to know where you're going to be at. Like, I'm not that type of person, but man, if I see you out and you get disrespectful, I would not advise that. This was whack of you to do this. First event was fine. The little one that was basically St. Patrick's Day, it was cool. It was fun. You know, he was sweating me about ticket sales then. It's like, honestly, bro, you're a bad businessman because you have taken away the incentive. Because this is what he did. He threatened to not let me perform if I didn't sell a certain number of tickets. And I'm like, nah, bro, that's not what we agreed to. And it's like, you got all these. Here's the thing, you're not limiting the ticket sales. If I pack that place out and it's over capacity, then you're going to have a bunch of pissed off people, because I've promoted shows where we've had hundreds of people in there just off of like us promoting it. So it's like, and technically I've been part of shows where it's thousands of people in there, so why is it that DJ Quick, Scarface, Rakim, and those guys, why is it that their teams don't pressure me to fucking sell tickets, but you do? Like, who are you to do that? And you know what? Honestly, that's probably why you didn't. He's a rapper himself, this El Prez guy. I mean, kinda. He's just a pretty average rapper, but he hasn't made it where he wants to in his career. I could tell. So probably a little bitter at the world, because this is his revenue stream. It's just ripping off upcoming artists at open mic type of shows, that seems to be his main revenue stream. Just a janky promoter. So I thought that was whack. I don't think I'd be part of your events in the future. And if I ever have an event on my own and you're trying to get in on it, nah, because this was whack. It's incredibly disrespectful. Basically, what he did is his event was wrapping up at 1, right? Everybody's out the building by the time I get on stage. As the night gets later and later, if I would have performed at 11:30 like I was supposed to, would have been like 100 people at the show. By the time I performed, it was barely anybody there. It was like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think, like maybe 10 people with the security and everything that was there. And he hands me the mic and then he leaves. He just disappears. He didn't give a shit. And he probably knew that I wasn't going to be happy about this. So he ducked out of there. And the DJ left in the middle of my set, just let the song play. Like, it was just super unprofessional. And it's almost like he told people to leave before my set too. It just felt super disrespectful to me. I don't even think people knew I was going on, you know, at that point. They probably thought I just canceled or like I flaked or whatever. That was just a whack experience, man. I wasn't happy about it. I don't understand like why he thought that was cool. Cause to me, it's just like, what did I do, man? What did I do? I didn't put some extra money in your pocket. It's whack. Don't treat people like that. It's gonna come back to haunt you, and I'm sure it does all the time. I'm sure I'm not the only person you ever done like that. But anyway, no more talk about this payday LA nonsense. I removed a lot of the stuff from my page because it left a bad taste in my mouth. I just thought that was whack. It's not a good way to do business, and I don't think that that's gonna work out for you in the future. Honestly, you got your little connection with this club, but that's it, man. It's just whack. It's just not a tight thing to do. I don't get it. Anyway, we'll get into some more stuff. So, got some reviews, some more reviews this week, as usual. I watch a lot of movies as part of my cheap ass. Well, I mean, I bought the unlimited pass, for Regal, so I watch a lot of movies. This week, I watched Evil Dead Rise. Not a bad movie. Actually, it was pretty good. The problem with it was the problem that I've had with some movies recently. I had this problem with Super Mario Bros. They're very similar movies. Now, they honestly couldn't be too much more different because there's like nothing scary about Mario. I guess other than that they both are based on subject matter that are franchises that started in the 80s. That's the only real similarity between them. But so both of those movies show like the whole movie on the previews. Like there's not much else in the movie that they didn't show. You know, it shows like on Evil Dead, it shows like "Mommy's with the maggots now," that thing, and that was like one of the biggest scenes in the film. They show it on the preview, and it's like, okay. Then it just feels, I guess, after you see the highlights on the ad, the movie just feels a little flat, I guess. It was good, don't get me wrong. I rated 7 Zeus slaps. God, that's what I give it. It was the most common score. I seen that it had like something crazy. I haven't looked into the scores too much, but I think it had like a 95 or something on Rotten Tomatoes, which just means that it had all those positive scores. I'm a little bit surprised by that because it was, you know, it's not a 9.5 out of 10. I think that's where we conflate it because you see that number. But realistically, a lot of the critics are probably just rating it as like good, like 7 out of 10 or something. I haven't looked into it, but I would guess it's something like that. But it's cool for what it is. I mean, it's not a bad movie. Actually, I'm kind of curious about that. I'm going to look that up real quick. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about, I did, what's it called? Let's see. So I watched Sweetwater. There's a movie called Sweetwater. I don't think a lot of people saw it. When I went, it was empty in there. I think I was the only person in there. And I mean, it's been out for a little while, so that's part of it. But there's nobody in that theater. It's always a little weird when you're the only one in the theater for a movie. I mean, I kind of like it. It's like I feel more free. Cause just like that's how it was when I saw Paint too. Or no, I think there was like somebody else in there for Paint. And you know what? Both of those movies are on about the same level. They got good intentions. There's stuff to like. The problem with Sweetwater is they made it look all like kumbaya. Basically, what Sweetwater is about, this guy, I forget his first name, but Sweetwater Clifton, who was like one of the first black players in the NBA, right? That's what the movie's about. So it's an interesting concept. It's a true story. But the problem with it is like I have a feeling, without even doing much research, that he had a much tougher time. I highly doubt that the fans in New York, those white fans, were immediately just like, "Yeah, that's our guy. Yeah, go Sweetwater." It's like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that. And the thing that's sad, and it was a sad I mean, realization that I come to a lot, but it just reared its ugly head again in this scenario. Is like black people have been mistreated throughout American history, right? Obviously. Breaking news, spoiler alert. So it's gotten to a point where there are so many movies about it where it feels formulaic, even though it really happened. It's true, these are real events, but it's like we've seen so much of it that it's just like, man, I mean, it starts to get to a point where it's like, it's a shared story that a lot of people have experienced the racism in America, right? But when there's so many of these, I guess in particular sports movies that show this, and it's like, yeah, white people were fucked up to black people for the zillionth time, it's like, this is, man, I mean, it's like, it's a story that deserves to be told, and I'm not trying to say like I'm glad that the movie exists. I'm not trying to say that I don't think they should have made it. I think they could have done better. I don't know. It's just it was missing something. I'm not alone. I actually was curious, like how was this movie taken in? And that movie had like a 13%, which is really bad. It's not that bad, but it only had like I think like 15 reviews or it didn't have a lot of reviews, so but I'd give it about a 4 to be honest. Like it's not terrible. The acting is good, but it's missing some. It's like the movie's just missing something because it feels like there was more of a story here. And basically, what they did is they showed him. He played for the Globetrotters for a while, and then they show him getting to the NBA and playing a game, and then that's it. The movie's over. They show like almost a little too much backstory, but the backstory seems a little bit watered down, if that makes sense. I don't know. They showed a little bit of the racism. They showed like these guys assault him, in like a dark alley, like trying to get him to miss the game, which I'm sure was like a real thing. But it just felt, it's like supposed to be one of these inspirational sports movies about like the racism that this man had to face, and it felt a little flat. That's all. It's not a bad movie at all. It's really not. It's just kind of lackluster, I guess. So yeah, that was Sweetwater. I really wanted to like it. It was one of those things. So this is an experience I have with movies. Sometimes I watch a movie and I love it right away, and it seems, it's just like a great movie. There's other times I watch a movie where it's like, I don't know how I feel, and then I reflect on it, and then I'm like, you know what? That was a great movie. This movie was like the opposite, where it was like, well, it wasn't bad. And then I reflected on it more, and I was like, you know what? It was kind of just. It's ironic. The name's Sweetwater. It's just generic, you know, flavored beverage. It's like it's just sugar and water. That's what this was. This was the equivalent of sugar and water. It was like, yeah, I mean, it's it's water with a little more flavor, I guess. I'd probably rather just have regular water. I'm not trying to put sugar in water. That was part of the way he got his nickname, was like he would drink sugar water because it was something to drink. It's like something to change it up. You're drinking water all day, and it's like, okay, it's nice to have like a little something to change it up. But yeah, this was basically sweet water. It's just like it was enough sugar to keep it from being terrible, but it's still just sugar water at the end of the day. If that makes sense. It was overly sweet. It's like I don't think they showed the real hardships that this man faced fully. If I had to guess, that's what I would say. So yeah, um, that was my review of Sweetwater. What else did I see? John Wick 4. I finally saw John Wick 4. I was waiting for people to see it with. I ended up seeing it with a friend because other people were lagging. You know who you are. So I saw it, and honestly, it might have been the best one in the series, John Wick 4. I think it had the best action overall, for sure. which I mean, I guess is like, that's what you would, that's like what you're looking for in that movie. But the story was a little better than I thought it was going to be. It was interesting, you know. I'm not going to give it away. It had a pretty surprising ending. Overall, just a good movie. Good action. And what's cool about those movies is basically what it is like Keanu Reeves stunt coordinators for the Matrix movies directed their own series, the John Wick series, and it wasn't supposed to be as successful as it was. A lot of people thought like it would do all right, it would break even at least. Actually, a lot of people predicted it would flop even, but it ended up far exceeding expectations. And I mean, it's turned Keanu into, it's like actually revitalized him as one of the biggest action stars on the planet and biggest movie stars in general. Um, they've all done well. Like it's honestly one of the best action franchises of all time, and that's kind of crazy because nobody really saw it coming, But it's just great fight choreography, great action sequences, and it's really all you can ask for in an action movie. So I would rate John Wick 4. I would give 9 Zeus slaps out of 11, guy. I think it was really like one of the best action movies of the last few years. All the John Wick movies are good. I think the first and the last, if this is the last, have been the best ones. Crazy to think. What's another, like, fourth movie in a franchise that's still that good? That's arguably the best entry. Like, that doesn't happen. I guess Toy Story 4, which he was also part of. I wouldn't say that was the best Toy Story, but it definitely wasn't bad. Keanu Reeves is in Toy Story 4. There's a common connection. Right? Interesting. So yeah, it's a good movie. Quality action film. And that's my reviews. What was I supposed to get? Oh, I was curious what the average score of Evil Dead was. Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise. Let's look it up. Oh man. Hate when, like, is your phone ever take screenshots when you don't want it to? Mine does that all the time. It just takes these stupid screenshots. It's like, I don't want this. Like, I have no use for this image. Why are you doing this? Look at my eyelashes if you've never seen them before. When I was a kid, I was insecure because people said I had eyelashes like a girl. People thought I wore like mascara. Look at me now, shining. Now, now I like them, but I was like, it's just that. I guess it's just that sexism. It's like you're not supposed to have those type of eyelashes as a man. Even though the funny thing is, a lot of times us guys have nice lashes that the girls wish they had. So it's kind of funny, but in retrospect, I actually, this is crazy, but I actually cut my eyelashes off when I was younger. Like, I thought they were too long, and something about it just bothered me. And I cut them off with like scissors. I still can't believe, I don't know why I did that. I can't believe that I thought that was a good idea. But for whatever reason, I thought it would be a good idea to like cut them off. I guess I thought it would like make me look less girly. It's crazy the peer pressure, right? Like I have no idea why I felt that way, like why I thought that would be a good idea. It doesn't make any sense, when I look back on it. I'm like, what was I thinking? Well, there was nothing wrong with my eyelashes. But that's the type of stuff that we deal with in our society. Like there's just a lot of stuff that's built to make us feel insecure. What the fuck is he doing, man? Oh, I thought we lost it for a second. I thought we lost the stream, but I guess it's still working. So we're still back at it. Okay. I'm making sure it's not delayed. All right, it's still on fleek. But yeah, anyway, I'm way too distracted by social media. I caught myself the other day. I was like, I just keep going on there, and it's like I'm basically like just trying to think of stuff to post to get my music out there more, and it's just like, this is not good. Like, you got to get off of here. So I don't know. I don't know. I have a strategy lately where I'm just like, I'm just gonna post as much stuff as I can, just throw as much stuff at the wall and see what sticks at this point, because it's gotten ridiculous. It's so hard to do anything on there these days, and I hate it, man. It's like I'm just trying to make a living, but they make it so difficult if you're not one of these corporate artists. So I'm gonna try to break away. I stole my dad's headphones like a couple weeks ago because he's always taking my damn headphones. Every headphones that show up at his house, it's like, oh, these must be mine, and like he's like Debo with headphones. So I took his, and then I felt bad. I used them a couple of times, and then I lost them. And I was like, oh damn, I lost this. Like that's not good. I was like, maybe they'll show up. Sure enough, they did show up. He had them, so he stole them back. It's like, of course he did, because he probably just saw some headphones sitting around and was like, oh, those are mine, like usual. But they actually were this time. I've lost so many headphones to him. I don't know where they go. I don't know where they end up, but probably just broken because he's kind of clumsy. Probably what it is. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny. It was like, I felt bad. I was like, oh man, I think I lost his headphones. And then he had them this whole time. It's like a couple weeks ago, they showed up like the other day. I saw him with them. And I was like, all right, well, I guess that worked itself out. I thought of this like, I'm gonna start responding to people in real life like the scammers do on the comments. I'm gonna be like, oh, promoted on World Star Famous, at World Star Famous. It's always something like that where it's like slightly off. Promoted on like Vogue Fashion Week, and it's just like they're just like trying to capitalize on someone falling for it being the real Vogue or whatever. I'm gonna start doing that. That's how I'm gonna roll from now on. It's always like, oh yeah, and then you got the Bitcoin scammers or whatever the hell they're doing, the Cash App scammers in the comments. I'm gonna start doing that. Like they'll be having a conversation about their day. It's like, yeah, I went to the store and I saw this. I decided to get this like makeup kit. That sounds so generic, huh? Oh man, there's one like you see them. They have like these. I could tell these people probably just got their accounts hacked or something, or like they got promised something by like some NFT or like what is it, forex trader, because you'll see them comment this thing like, I didn't believe it at first, but thank you so much for changing my whole life at Sandy Milan 97 or whatever. Like they tag somebody, and it's like you go to their page and then it's all just like forex scams and like stuff like that. Bitcoin scams and like what's that other thing that they do? Well, they're gonna ask you for like an Apple Store gift card. That's off top. That's what they do. Like I don't know why is that the currency among scammers? Like if scammers had an ad, it would be, or like a TV show, the ads would all be like brought to you by Apple Store gift cards. There must be something where like you can't get your money back somehow. Is that what it is? It's like those green dot cards where it's like a lot less traceable. I'm giving them bad. I'm giving them bad ideas. Well, good ideas for them, but yeah, there's all types of scams like that where it's like they can't get your money back because they use some card. Like if someone jacks your money with one of those cards, it's like it's a wrap. Like you're not gonna get it back because it's like an untraceable thing. And I'm like, how is that not more regulated? The crazy thing is like I've had stuff go wrong with my bank, with people who had the same bank, and they'd be like, "Oh, there's nothing we can do." It's like, our money is in the same bank. You can get my money back from this person. I can show you that they didn't provide this service. Like, what was it? Oh, in one case, somebody wrote bad checks in my account. They wouldn't do anything about it. I'm like, we have the same bank. I could get if it was another bank. It's almost like it would be better for it to be another bank than to be my own bank. Like, they'd be more helpful if it was another bank. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't think I'm gonna get to all this stuff out here because this stuff's taking longer than I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, that's what we do. I never knew. Oh yeah, yeah. That was one of them. So I see comments like this. I'm gonna start responding to people like that. I never knew what I am today after so much suffering. Like stuff like that, like broken English stuff. I'm just gonna start responding to people to be like, how was your day? And I'll be like, I never knew what today I am after so much suffering. That's gonna be my response. Anybody asking me any question, I never knew what I'm today after so much suffering. Thank you to Emily Watson for guiding me and my profit portfolios. Look at you've seen it, like you go on a page, if you ever read the comments, it's like most of the comments are that is like bots talking about like some forex person. It's just like, I can't believe I managed to pay off all my debts, and that person's in debt. Most likely that's not even them on their account. They probably already got their account hacked by the person that they're saying helped them financially. They probably got hacked, and then that person that hacked them is the one writing the comments. Believe me, that's what it really is a lot of times. It's hilarious. I mean, it's sad, but it's hilarious at the same time. So I saw this article. It said Meek Mill and Kevin Hart donate $15 million to underserved youth, and it made me realize how close undeserved and underserved is. It's only a letter away. So it's like, if you mess that word up, it's like, oh yeah, they donated 15 million to the undeserved youth. Like, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds bad. Like, what is it? Like, they didn't deserve to be born, they didn't deserve the money. Like, when it says undeserved youth, it's like, oh, they don't deserve to be young or whatever. I just thought it was kind of funny because it's funny how close something can be, to like being an absolute disaster. So for those who don't know, Gervonta Tank Davis, he fought Ryan Garcia. I'm gonna get into that in the sports segment. Quick. But anyway, that was stupid. That was corny. I hate that I did that. I'm sorry. Anyway, and this is gonna be corny too. I'm gonna let you know now. Maybe leave the room for this one. You're about to experience some corniness. If you don't like corniness, then go to Joe Budden, the least corny man in show. I can't. Oh man, it's funny when he calls people out for corniness. Like, I've seen whole pages dedicated to roasting every outfit he's ever worn. It's like, they don't do that for everybody, bro. They don't do that for everyone, and those pages are hilarious. The captions, it's hilarious. It's like just absolutely obliterating this man and his fits, But he's gonna lecture Michael B. Jordan on being corny, and I'm just like, you don't even know, man. I don't think Michael B. Jordan has a page that's roasting his fits. I didn't see it. Maybe there's probably pages that call him corny. If I had to guess, I say they should just compete to see who's the corniest. Honestly, it would be some interesting competition. But yeah, so what I was gonna say, Gervonta Tank Davis, he's been accused of domestic violence a couple of times. It got me thinking. I was like, did Floyd train him on how to beat up his girlfriends? Like, Floyd's his promoter. It would make sense, right? Floyd's like, no, you gotta work the hook in there, champ. You gotta you gotta go to the body, if she's pregnant. Oh, that's horrible. But then, yeah, Mayweather got in trouble for beating up his what's her name, Josie Harris, and now she passed away. So rest in peace to her. Not because of that. He didn't. To be fair, as far as I know, it wasn't any. I mean, it was years after he went to jail for that for a little bit for hitting his ex. Um, but yeah, she passed away now. Really sad. I believe he had 3 kids with her. He had more than one with her, I know. So, man, sad story. But yeah, it's I don't know it sucks. I hope that Tank can. Well, for one, I hope he didn't hit his girl. Like it's not clear yet, but he has done some stuff. He's gotten in trouble for things. I hope he gets it together, man. I don't want him to be like another Broner. You know, he just got probably the biggest win of his career. Oh, spoiler alert. We'll get into that though. And I just don't want to see him throw it away over some stupid stuff. It's like Ja Morant. I mean, Ja did drop 45 on the Lakers, but they still lost. But like, he was going through a rough time recently. He almost fucked his whole career up over trying to be street. And it's like, what's the point, man? You're gonna make hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, it doesn't matter how street you are. It's not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how hood you are at this point. You made it in life. You're playing a game you love for millions of dollars. Like, there's no need to try to be like super thug out there. So hopefully he learned that lesson because he's an electrifying player to watch. Like, probably at least one of the most exciting players in the league, if not the most exciting. So I hope he gets it together. I hope Tank gets it together because Tank's an exciting fighter in his own right. You know. Speaking of all the disturbing stuff, I watched Taxi Driver. I don't think I ever seen it. I've seen bits and pieces. I watched it. Man, that was a disturbing movie, and I was disturbed that it was somewhat relatable because not because I have killed several people, and I was just like, whoa, am I crazy if I kill people? Is there something wrong with me if I'm killing people? Just trying to be corny. Oh man, but yeah, it was a little disturbing to think of like some of this is relatable. There are a lot of shitty people out there. Sometimes I get in that mode. I get what he was kind of. I've had jobs like that too, where I was like working for Lyft and Uber and driving people around years ago. It just made me think. I get it. It can be, you can really see some bad sides of people, like that lady who threatened to shoot me in the head and stuff like that because she was a Trump supporter. I didn't even say anything bad about him. She just asked if I supported him. I said no, and she was like, I wish this was an open carry state so I could shoot you in the back of the head. And I was like, what? Over like not wanting to vote for Trump? Like, that's lunacy, to want to shoot someone over them voting for anyone. It's just crazy. Like, what? She was probably an Apple user. No, I'm just playing. Well, no, she probably was though, actually. But I just threw that in there to throw some shots. All the phones are the same, man. My daughter has an iPhone. I've seen it. It ain't that much different than my phone. It has like a couple features that are better, and then my phone has a couple features that are better. At the end of the day, it balances out. It's basically the same thing. So it's just kind of silly that we even go to that we even have that discussion. You know. So Boomer Phil Jackson was saying that he hasn't watched the NBA since the bubble because of the political slogans and saying sometimes people don't want politics; they just want to watch the game. So he basically told LeBron to shut up and dribble. I think he's just mad that LeBron and his posse won the finals that year. I don't think Phil knows how to cope with that, because he kind of fucked his career up to an extent when he called it LeBron's posse. Now, a lot of people are like, is Phil Jackson racist? Is he actually racist? I don't know if he is or not. I mean, he probably has a little bit of racism in him. He's like a fucking 80-year-old man from Montana. Like, I'm pretty sure that comes with the territory over there. Not to say it's right. It's never going to be right. But, I had a friend who worked out there and, like, he got called the N word out there by people. And it's like, there's not even black people in Montana, bro. Like, why are you mad? Where did you even get this racism from? Like, I remember, like, there was a guy that I worked with at a job, and he said that he never saw. He wasn't from Montana, but he was from one of those honky states, you know. But he said he never met any black people in real life until he went to college. And this dude was like one of the most racist people I've ever met. And I'm like, you didn't even know them. Like, you didn't even grow up with like other races. You grew up like in a super white area, clearly, where you never met anyone of color until you were in college. Like, that's so crazy to think, you know? Like, how you could live your whole life like that. So, yeah. I don't even know where we were going with that, but I kind of like lost track of the time. Oh yeah, Boomer Phil mad that LeBron is posse won. He got in trouble for calling it LeBron's posse, which does seem like it has like some racial undertones, right? LeBron's posse. I don't know for sure, but it feels like it's like it feels a little racist. Like, I've never heard Phil Jackson use the term posse before. I don't know. Maybe that's some shit that he uses all the time. Maybe he has a posse. You know, just like a bunch of old white dudes. It's a posse. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know these things. But one thing that I thought was funny is, you know, the phrase, we a lot of times we get into the semantics of language on here because I'm an annoying man with an English degree. So I get into these stupid discussions, one-sided discussions where I'm having an argument with myself. But what I was going to say, the saying, an elephant never forgets. Common saying, right? Fairly common. People say an elephant never forgets. An elephant never forgets. Wow. What is that why Republicans want us to live in the 1950s? Because an elephant never forgets. That's what it feels like. Like, they really want it to be the 1950s again. That's the time that they fantasize about the most. That's when America was great and all that. And it's always funny to see those memes where they people reminiscing about the 50s. There's just people of color that are just like, yeah, it wasn't that great for us, you know. Like, that's one of those things. I guess it's just you grow up around a bunch of white people, like these people that I've been talking about. You grow up around a bunch of white people. You don't see people that aren't white that often, so everything seems cool. Oh, it's all good. You know, we're just having a grand old white time, the grand old party style, and it's just like there's a lot of racism out there, and it's not justified. It's rough, you know, and I feel for anyone that has to deal with it. So it's a rough time, man. It sucks. Um, I hope that things will continue to get better. I know we still got a lot of work to do, so hopefully we can break out of that. And hopefully they don't like revert us back to the 1950s. Make time for what you really want to do in life. All you out there, make time for what you really want to do. Don't let that company run your life. Don't let that man or woman run your life. You got to do what you want to do too. You deserve to be happy. Stop letting people control all these aspects of your life. You deserve to be happy. You deserve happiness. You deserve enjoyable experiences. Like, get out there and do it. You know, make it happen. I know you can. Don't let the system crush you. The system tries to crush you at every turn. Everything you do, man, is controlled by corporations. We can't get anything to ourselves most of the time. So make sure that you put your best foot forward and put yourself in the best position. I know you can do it. I know you can. Don't be afraid. You got this. So take that step and you'll get it, man. Don't let the system crush you. One thing that is kind of funny, so I've been playing basketball more lately, and if you just stand on a public basketball court or like a gym basketball court, eventually a pickup game's just going to materialize. And we won that today. We won that pickup game, even though I played with some damn ball hogs. I scored a couple points. I was getting active with it. Had some nice passes. We got it together. We were making it happen. It was fun. I did something stupid and dove for a ball, and now my back hurts. So I don't know why the fuck I did that. It felt fine at the time, but now I think I like knocked something out of place. So I got to try to fix that. I think it'll be fine, but I might not be able to box tomorrow if my back is still. It's like one small part of my back. It's not like my lower back or upper back. It's like I guess it's technically in like my upper back, but I'm saying like it's not my whole upper back. It feels like I got punched in the back or something. So hopefully I can patch that up because I don't like to miss the gym. I'm in meathead mode at this time. I'm not gonna use that term again. Meathead mode. It just sounds like you're just doming somebody up. I'm in meathead mode. I shouldn't have done that either. That's gonna be. Anyone can take that clip. Oh well, I can laugh at myself, motherfuckers. I know where I stand on things. That's funny though. So yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Don't let people know too much about your personal life. I have made this mistake, man. Letting people know too much, letting people in a little too much. People judge, even if their life is absolute trash. They're like, "Whoa, my life might suck, but it's better than his." Like they'll find a way to like rationalize it, try to shit on you. It's like, nah, dog, we're not doing that. We ain't doing that. All right. So don't let people know too much. I'm working on that. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm not gonna let people know too much about me. I'm not gonna let them know anything. I'm gonna hide everything. Everything will be hidden. No one will ever know anything about me ever again. Fuck you all. Now I'm playing. I'm just playing, guys. I love you, fans. If you're listening, I love you because you made me like a cent, I think, or maybe more. I don't know. Maybe this will blow up by the time it comes out. You never know. What I do know is the vagina vortex it's claiming more victims, man. It's claiming more victims. Crazy. I saw I've had this show, and in retrospect I'm kind of glad that some of my friends didn't come to my show because it didn't end up working out. But it's the principle of like, I have friends that live right by the venue and they didn't show up. And then they made other friends feel bad for being like, oh yeah, I might go, man. I'll see. Neither of them ended up showing up, but it's like, so you guilted this guy into feeling bad, about not showing up, and you didn't even show up in the end. So that was whack. I'm not gonna lie, that was very whack. And then the thing that sucks is like you go, so social media, man, gift and a curse, right? So they didn't show up to my show, obviously. I see them. I saw one friend getting in sad boy mode, talking about how they felt bad about pushing people away and alienating them. Meanwhile, they're missing a show they said they were coming to. They're missing my show. Talking about alienating, not showing up for people and like not being there for the friends. Then they don't show up on the night of my show. It's just like, I guess it's good you got some self awareness. It would have been free, by the way. They didn't have to pay anything. It was a couple blocks from where they live, and they couldn't show up. So it's all good. I thought that was kind of whack. Other friend lives further, but here's the thing. So he's been dating a girl for a couple weeks. Doesn't really know her like that. Um, we agreed, you know, like he said he was coming to my show all these weeks ago. I see the night of my show on his story him hanging out with a girl, this girl. He's known for a couple weeks. We know each other for years and years. And it just feels fucked up. It was a Thursday night, man. Usually not the best night for anyone to be going on a date night, but he made time for that, but like couldn't make time for your boy. And meanwhile, I went to one of his last events, showed up to the event. He wasn't there, paid for the event, and he didn't show up. I got a hold of him after we already paid and went in. So you would think like maybe you make more of an effort to come to my event the next time. It was free and everything. And actually they were the same distance, honestly. Like your event was far from where I was at the time. My event was far from where you were at the time. Um, but hey, what can you do? It that's a struggle that I always have in this world, man. It's just like people don't match my loyalty or my level of support a lot of times, and it can be difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it really can. But that being said, New Jack's doing a DJ set soon. Hit me up if you're trying to go. I'd love to see some of the fans there. Um, if you don't, I'm sure you can find them on my page. If you don't know, you know where my page is, at Life in Zero Gravity, the number zero. If you're watching this on YouTube, I mean, I think you can contact me on YouTube too. So yeah, hit me up. Let's roll through. It should be a fun time. I'm mostly doing it to support my friend. He doesn't even know. I'm surprising. So it'll be cool, man. It'll be exciting. Let's get together. Let's make more of our lives. Let's do things. Let's have fun. It sounded kind of weird when I said it like that. It sounded like I wanted to hump you or something, but you know what I mean. Okay? Not being weird about it. I'm just saying. Like, if you're an artist, don't give up. A lot of art sucks. A lot of art out there sucks. There's a lot of bad painters, bad drawers, bad sculptors, bad rappers, bad singers, bad bands. So much of it all around. Somebody always ends up liking it. They always manage to find enough. There's just horrible, horrible artists that make millions of dollars. Surely there's enough for us to have just a little, a few crumbs. There's enough out there for that. So don't let people discourage you. There's enough. This world is so oversaturated, but there's still enough. There's new artists every day. There's new trash coming out all the time, man. It's all about somebody's preference. You can't tell me that if like some of these just trash albums with maybe 2 or 3 songs that people like do such huge numbers, that album like Chambers There or album like ZN can't succeed, album like that can't attract a fan base. I mean, not that they haven't, but I mean, believe me, there's more out there. I know we can do better. So let's do it. Let's make it happen. Like, we all deserve this. I really do want to see everyone live their dreams. I say it all the time. I really want that. That's what I want, because love and dreams are what keeps me alive. It's what keeps me alive, man. Really, like pursuing love and pursuing dreams. The love I have for my daughter, one of the number one things that keeps me alive. Honestly, it was the number one thing for a long time, and it probably still is if I really broke it down. Like, I could never leave her in this world alone and not be guiding her, not being there for her. And I just genuinely enjoy our time together. So, I just want to build more positive memories with all the people I love, man. And I want to find new people, find new experiences. So let's do it. That being said, I'm going to get into some of your other favorite segments coming up. So stay tuned to Life in Zero Gravity. KZR Sports. You know the vibes. Big Zero. And we got a lot to talk about. Ryan Garcia quit. The Mexican quit against Tank Davis. I wonder, I saw these posts from the food community online talking about this, and I'm like, is he going to be exiled from the food community now? from the full community. That's weird to put that together, right? The full community. It's like you naturally want to say community, and that just sounds dumb. That's not the right way to say it. But anyway, I wondered if he would be exiled, excommunicated for quitting. He barely got hit in that fight. That was one of the only solid punches he really caught. Another one dropped him earlier. He got hit on the butt and he got dropped. But man, that was not a good look. And I don't know if he can recover, honestly. He's young, he has time, but it I guess like it's possible for him to recover, right? I don't know if it's possible that he has the heart to do it because I question that with him. And as I'm watching the fight, I said in these words, I was like, I feel like he's going to get dropped by a body shot. I straight up said that. I saw the way he has his guard all high. It's all the way up here because he got popped in the chin earlier. So he was super tentative after that because he got wild in the early going. He unloaded with a bunch of punches and he got dropped. He got hit with a punch he didn't see coming. And it was kind of a flash knockdown, but it was enough for him to be like, oh shit, I don't want to get caught with that again. So he ended up like fighting super tentatively with his guard all the way up here, and he got dropped. Man, he got hit in the liver and dropped and stopped. He quit, and I really think that making a fighter quit is worse than knocking them out. Taking the fight out of that man, that's humiliating, bro. Taking the fight out of him, that's super humiliating, I think, personally. I think that's humiliating. So it's worse. Like you get knocked out, it happens. You get made into a meme. There's something different, man. And I knew the Mexican community was not going to stand for that. I've seen so many like things today about him being a bitch and all this and quitting. I knew it in the moment. Immediately after it happened, I was like, "Y'all still claiming Mexicans? Y'all still claim Ryan Garcia?" This is funny because this is the shit, and I'm gonna say this. This is real, man. Every fucking time that like a black fighter and a Mexican fighter fight, it gets fucking racist, and I hate that shit. It happens with a black and white fighter too, of course. Like, that's just one of the things that I dislike the most about the fight game is it just turns into this like race wars shit, and it's like I've watched these fighters for years. I've seen that like a lot of the Mexicans I knew thought that Ryan Garcia was lame and corny and like, he's like Justin Bieber of boxing and all this stuff. Like they didn't like the TikToks and like how he's like a social media star. They didn't like any of that shit. So it gets to the night of the fight or, the build up of the fight and the same people are like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna win La Raza," like, and they're talking about like how just making racist comments about Tank, like just all this stuff. Like I saw somebody said like blacks never know how to have a civilized conversation. It's a bunch of that shit. They do it every fucking time there's a fight. It's like they got to get racist about it, and it's just like it's so trash. So when Ryan Garcia quit like that, I laughed my ass off thinking about all those people that just rooted for him because he was Mexican. They don't even like the dude. They don't even like him. And then as soon as he loses, oh, he was never Mexican anyway, fool. He was never Mexican anyway. Tank was running, fool. He was running. I saw that comment like, they're saying Tank was running. I'm like, he stopped him. He dropped the man twice. He made him quit. If he was running, Ryan Garcia ran out of the motherfucking ring and quit. What? Where's the logic there? It's so crazy when that happens. It's funny, like, that was always a funny thing because Mexicans didn't like Floyd for years. Not all Mexicans, but a lot of Mexicans, right? They didn't like him. He's running, fool. He's always running. And then fucking, he boxes Canelo up with running, even though if you watch that fight, he was coming forward and just, making Canelo miss right in front of him and shit, hit the ropes and shit. And now Canelo adopted a very similar style, and he fought like that against Golovkin. And all of a sudden, it's smart. It's a smart fighting technique. It's like, oh yeah, he's just the better boxer. Golovkin's not in his league and all that. He lost to Golovkin twice, to be honest with you. He really did. He should have lost those fights, I believe. Second was a little closer. He should have lost. Definitely the first, he lost that fight. And by the way, the first one was ruled a draw. The second one, he won by the slimmest possible margin, 115, 113 on two cards. Actually, was it? Yeah, it was like that. It was like the slimmest margin. It was 115, 113 on two cards. One of the cards was a draw for the rematch, and they didn't give him a third fight for years until he got old and until nobody really thought he had a chance anymore. So I always thought that was so lame, man. But that's like but since he's Mexican, it's like, oh yeah, people are just haters. They're just hating on him because he's Mexican, fool. It's like, no, that's not. People don't like the shit that he does because he's been a prima donna for his whole career. He fails drug tests. There's a lot of reasons why people don't like that fool. It's not because he's Mexican. It's not that at all. So stop with your nonsense. But anyway, I digress. Race wars and boxing, man. I just sit there on the sidelines like I'm not racist at all. I don't have a problem with any race. I just observe racism and I see it, and it's amusing sometimes. It's like, it's funny how him being Mexican, all of a sudden you root for him against Tank, who has been nothing but a real fighter's fighter. All this running shit. They said Tank was running. The dude is 29-0 with 27 knockouts, but he's running. He's a runner. Just ridiculous, man. Anyway, Lakers are gonna. I still think it's Lakers in 6, maybe Lakers in 5 at this point. 6 seemed like a safe prediction. That was my opening prediction, and they look good in the series. I'm kind of happy to see the Knicks winning. Weird, right? Who would have thought that? I mean, I don't really have a problem with the Knicks. I actually feel bad for their fans. I'm always happy when like long-suffering fans finally get a team in the playoffs. Kings too. Shout out to the Kings and their fans. Even though I'm a Laker fan, I hope you make moves. The Clippers are clipping. It sucks because Westbrook's dropping 37 and shit, dropping 30. He dropped 30 in the last 3 games, but Kawhi's hurt again as usual. Paul George has missed the whole series. It just sucks. So it'll be interesting to see if they bring him back. I kind of think they will, but we'll see. Last nugget of information. The Angels have no promotional nights planned for Otani after the trade deadline. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have a Japan night. Coincidence? I think not. Boo, boo, boo. And now, let us read from the Book of Graph. Fuck your bitch all night off all day cardio. Your bar's too low for the bars we flow, crushing your little subpar ego. The sharpest diamond couldn't scar me, yo. Nah, fuck your bitch all night off all day cardio. Your bar's too low for the bars we flow, crushing your little subpar ego. The sharpest diamond couldn't scar me, yo. Bitch, I hope you have a wondrous day and don't go blind from my gun display. Ooh, I'm a God's guy. You're a flawed nuisance, embodying all your fraudulence. Not again, I had to regulate. I'm so great that you must beg to hate. You have to beg to give a negative thought. I'm chopping through all repetitive plots. I've seen so many empires fall. Line up your best riders, I'll retire all. Thriving sexually is my legacy. The only thing better is an extra me. I'm the best, and that is exceptionless, most definite, a perfectionist. This lesson is free, but I deserve the pay. I up the murder rate, then swerve away. Ooh, fuck your bitch all night, off all day cardio. Your bar's too low for the bars we flow, crushing your little subpar ego. The sharpest diamond couldn't scar me, yo. Fuck your bitch all night, off all day cardio. Your bar's too low for the bars we flow, crushing your little subpar ego. The sharpest diamond couldn't scar me, yo. Grand. And that's our show. So, you know, KZRO with Big Zero. That's how I did it. 93 tilling it, still killing it. No, I'm just rhyming for the sake of rhyming. But anyway, I appreciate you tuning in, listening. I'm gonna start releasing more shorts. YouTube seems like the way to go. I put like bullshit half-ass videos on there just to test it out, little shorts, and they get like 1,000 plays. I'm just like, what the hell? Meanwhile, I put all this work on Instagram and they shadow ban me. Before they shadow ban me, I put very low effort into this video, got like 20,000 plays, and it was monetized. So they had to pay me like, I forget, I think like $100 off that video or some shit. Then magically I just started getting in trouble. You know, it was like, weird that my account has never gotten any violations in the years before I was monetized. Then as soon as I get monetized, I get all these violations for telling someone I'll beat you, not in a violent way, but that was deemed a violent threat, even under further review. Like, what? They have a victory today, though. Somebody said that all black people do something in some comment. I reported it, and at first they didn't remove it. Then I persisted, and they removed it. And I hope that motherfucker's in trouble now, because I'm sick of getting in trouble for bullshit. Well, there's actual racists on Instagram who just get to spout their nonsense all day. So fuck that. Anyway, I'll be back next week. I appreciate you listening once again. This is Big fucking Zero. I appreciate you. Much love, much peace. You know where to find me. Keep it locked to KZRO 1111 on your ZM dial, the only station in space. Peace, baby.